Breaking news tonight, multiple law enforcement officers shot and killed in Pennsylvania. A suspect allegedly opening fire as officers served a warrant, shooting 5. At least 3 officers are now dead. Responders rushing to the scene, what we know at this hour. Also tonight, the former CDC chief warning that America's public health system is headed to a, quote, very dangerous place, telling senators she believes she was fired by RFK Jr. because she refused to sign off on his new vaccine recommendations before seeing any evidence. The president, the pomp, and the pageantry. Will and Kate greeting President Trump as the royal family rolls out the red carpet. The gold carriages, colorful flyovers, and lavish dinner, all with protesters shutting down central London. Plus, what the new Fed rate cut could mean for your mortgage, car payments, and credit cards. The dismembered body found inside the car of an up-and-coming singer, now identified as a teenage girl. Tracking Tropical Storm Gabrielle, when it could strengthen into a hurricane. This just in, the maker of Ozempic revealing its pill could work nearly as well as its shots. What we know about when you could get it and how much it will cost. This is also breaking tonight, why Jimmy Kimmel is being preempted indefinitely. The controversy just in. And this 10-year-old just offered a full ride to college, not for sports, but for farming. How she's planting her own path for a bright future. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And we come on the air tonight with breaking news. A suspect allegedly opening fire in Pennsylvania, killing 3 law enforcement officers. The shooter killed as well. Earlier today, first responders rushing out to that scene, and we still know little about what transpired tonight. The officers were apparently serving a warrant when they started taking fire. It happened in York County, Pennsylvania, about 3 hours from Philadelphia. The governor updating about the violent scene just moments ago. Aaron McLaughlin has the late details. And Aaron, a devastated community there and still so many questions tonight.
Tom, officials say an investigation is underway. The FBI is involved, and there's no active threat at this time. Tonight in York County, Pennsylvania, a suspect opened fire, shooting 5 police officers, according to 3 people familiar with the matter, before the shooter, who has yet to be named by officials, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
I heard gunshots.
I'd like to preemptively say that there are many details which at this point we are not prepared to release. I can confirm that there were 5 law enforcement officers who were shot today, 3 fatally.
Sources tell NBC News police had apparently been serving a warrant when the suspect opened fire. The chaos captured on police dispatch.
We have 1 officer down, class 1.
First responders flooded the scene in rural Pennsylvania.
Numerous police and EMS units responded to the scene.
And a shelter in place was ordered at local schools as a precaution and later lifted.
Fortunately, there have been no children injured in any way.
This kind of violence isn't okay. We need to do better as a society.
And the lieutenant governor tonight wrote, send prayers to the officers and those involved in the shooting, advising the public to stay away from the area.
And Aaron joins us again live. Aaron, we know 3 of those officers were shot and killed. Do we know how the other 2 officers are doing tonight?
Tom, officials say the remaining 2 officers are in critical but stable condition at the local hospital. Tom.
All right, Aaron McLaughlin leading us off tonight. We turn now to our other major story in Washington this time, where the former CDC director told Congress she was fired by RFK Jr. because she refused to rubber stamp new vaccine policies. She also said Kennedy called CDC employees, quote, horrible people who are killing children. Here's Ann Thompson.
I believe preventable diseases will return, and I believe that we will have our children harmed for things that we know they do not need to be harmed by. Polio, measles, diphtheria, whooping cough.
The stakes laid bare by fired CDC Director Dr. Susan Menares over the future of the nation's vaccine policy. In August, 29 days after he called her scientific credentials unimpeachable, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dismissed his handpicked Senate-confirmed choice over vaccines.
He just wanted blanket approval.
Okay.
And if I could not commit to approval, of each and every one of the recommendations that would be forthcoming, I needed to resign.
Menards told the Senate committee she refused to pre-approve the decisions of a vaccine advisory panel without science or data. Several new members of that committee, selected by Kennedy, share his vaccine skepticism.
I was fired for holding the line on scientific integrity, but that line does not disappear with me.
2 weeks ago, Kennedy told another Senate committee Menards lied about her firing.
Did you tell the head of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign?
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no.
Menards also said Kennedy disparaged the nation's top health agency.
He called CDC the most corrupt federal agency in the world, emphasized that CD employees were horrible people. He said that CDC employees were killing children and they don't care. He said during the COVID outbreak, CDC told hospitals to turn away sick COVID patients until they had blue lips before allowing them to get treatment.
Menards said Kennedy's assertions are not true. Some committee Republicans zeroed in on the COVID vaccine.
Does the COVID vaccine reduce hospitalization for children under 18?
It can.
It doesn't.
Doctor and committee chairman Bill Cassidy wants to hear from Kennedy himself.
I think Secretary Kennedy has to come and address this specifically.
All right, and with that, Ann joins us now. Ann, there's been a lot of talk, too, about a meeting that's happening about the vaccine advisory panel. What are they discussing?
Tom, Menards said she's nervous about that meeting that'll take place tomorrow. She said RFK Jr. told her in August the childhood vaccine schedule would change this month. On the agenda tomorrow, the measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox vaccine, as well as the hepatitis B shot. Tom?
All right, Ann Thompson for us. Ann, we thank you. We want to head overseas now in that lavish royal welcome for President Trump in the UK. The first American president honored with a second state visit. He was hosted by King Charles and Queen Camilla, but many are talking about the role Prince William and Kate played today. Here's Gabe Gutierrez.
Tonight, President Trump receiving a royal welcome like no other. 1,300 British military personnel, 120 horses, and a spectacular flyover in red, white, and blue, marking an unprecedented second state visit to the UK by an American commander-in-chief. At historic Windsor Castle, the President and First Lady immediately greeted by Prince William and Princess Kate, then King Charles and Queen Camilla. The King honoring the President by allowing him to walk ahead as they reviewed the troops. With tariffs and wars in Ukraine and Gaza the focus of talks tomorrow, the British today first deploying tiara diplomacy. Tonight, a lavish white-tie banquet for the President, with a table 50 yards long.
This is truly one of the highest honors of my life.
And a toast from the King.
Allow me to propose a toast to President Trump and the First Lady.
The pomp and pageantry largely insulated from this protest about 25 miles away. NBC's Raf Sanchez was there.
These demonstrations have brought central London to a complete standstill. Protesters here say the red carpet should not have been rolled out for President Trump.
But outside Windsor Castle, British Trump supporters urging the president to make England great again.
He's really turning the US around, and we hope he has some influence over in the UK.
At that banquet, President Trump sat next to Princess Kate, saying she looked radiant, healthy, and beautiful in his toast, and predicting a successful future for her and Prince William. Tom?
Okay, Gabe, we thank you. Back here at home to that major move by the Fed, cutting interest rates. The impact likely to be felt in everything from mortgages to credit card rates and car loans. Christine Romans has the details you need to know.
Tonight, the country's central bank making a long-awaited pivot.
With downside risks to employment having increased, the balance of risks has shifted.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell announcing a quarter-point rate cut, the first in 9 months, and putting the focus squarely on the softening U.S. labor market. Powell seemingly less concerned than before about the risk of a return to runaway inflation, even though price increases have accelerated over the past 4 months. Powell acknowledging challenges for the overall economy.
There are no risk-free paths now.
Markets closing mixed for the day as the Fed indicated 2 more cuts are likely to come this year, impacting everything from mortgage rates and auto loans to credit card interest.
In my view, Chair Powell indicated that he's caught between a rock and a hard place.
The 12 voting members for the Fed today, as much a story as the way they voted. Among them, Lisa Cook, who President Trump attempted to fire last month. An appeals court blocked the move, allowing her to remain. The sole dissenting vote today, Stephen Myron, who wanted a bigger cut and is one of President Trump's top economic advisors, now filling a short-term opening at the Fed. His appointment part of growing concerns over the influence of politics on the central bank, something Powell dismissed.
We're strongly committed to maintaining our independence, and beyond that, I really don't have anything to share.
So, Christine, rates are coming down. What is the immediate real-world impact for families at home?
Well, Tom, in anticipation of today's cut, mortgage rates had already dropped to their lowest level in 3 years, with demand for refinancing spiking. And that could continue, Tom, if the Fed cuts interest rates further, allowing people cheaper access to borrowing money.
All right, Christine Romans. Christine, thank you. It has been a quiet hurricane season, but we want to turn to the tropics now, and an increase in activity on the radar. Bill Cairns joins us tonight. Bill, tell us what you and your team are watching.
Yeah, quietest September on record ever. But now we finally have a tropical system to track, and it's thankfully high confidence we know where it's going. Maybe not the intensity. So it's just a tropical storm. It's out in the middle of the Atlantic currently. The forecast path does take it north of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. You're safe. But we do have to watch closely Bermuda by the time we get to the end of the weekend, possibly even as a hurricane. The East Coast, you'll get some waves from this, but all of our long-term models take this and curve it back out to sea. So we are crystal clear of anything in the tropics in the U.S.
Okay, good to know, Bill. We thank you for that. We want to head to California, where authorities are revealing the identity of a teenage girl found in a Tesla belonging to a TikTok music star who is now on tour. Liz Kreutz is in Los Angeles with the latest on that investigation.
Tonight, more than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David, Los Angeles investigators identifying the remains as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, the same girl who was reported missing last year, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Police first found the teen's decomposed body on September 8th after being called to a Hollywood tow yard because of a foul odor coming from the Tesla, which was impounded after a person reported the car abandoned. Law enforcement sources say the remains were not intact, and according to the medical examiner, it appeared the girl, who is described as having wavy black hair and weighing about 71 pounds, had been dead inside the Tesla for an extended period of time. The singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, rose to fame on TikTok and is currently on tour. A spokesperson for the artist did not respond to NBC News' request for comment today, but last week said the 20-year-old was fully cooperating with the authorities. The LAPD is not calling the death criminal, saying in a statement that at this time, the agency does not have a crime classification from the coroner as to the mode or manner of death. Thus, we do not have any suspect information at this time. And right now, police have not said if they believe the singer David knew or ever had contact with the victim. We are just learning that his show scheduled for tonight in Seattle has now been canceled. Tom?
A mystery there. All right, Liz, we thank you. Now to those students returning to Utah Valley University for the first time since conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Many worried about their own safety as they step back on campus. Here's Morgan Chesky.
Tonight, 1 week after students scrambled for their lives following the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Today, Utah Valley University reopening for students in a somber return.
It just doesn't feel real.
The shooting scene now marked by an American flag.
I just feel like my heart is kind of broken.
Utah's Governor Spencer Cox praying with students and staff.
None of you asked for this, but I need you to know that this is a special place.
It comes after that first court appearance by Kirk's alleged assassin.
And your message to the campus, to Utah today? My message is that we are resilient, that we can be better.
But there is still fear here.
You thought twice about putting that hat on today.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because, I mean, there's so much violence, and I feel like it's usually political, and I don't want to get in the middle of that.
The university president tonight.
Security and safety are paramount to us and will be.
All as the last video Kirk recorded before he was murdered was released.
And it starts with you getting registered to vote.
The message of the 31-year-old who was married with 2 young children still resonating with students here.
I want to kind of make a difference. I want to do something in my community more now. Like, he kind of inspired that in me.
And tonight we've learned both President Trump and the vice president are confirmed speakers at Kirk's memorial slated for this upcoming Sunday. Tom?
Morgan Chesky for us. Morgan, thank you. We're going to be right back in 60 seconds with some breaking news about the future of Jimmy Kimmel. Plus, weight loss shots have been game changers for millions. But can pills known as oral Ozempic be just as effective? The new data, we have it. That's next. We're back with the race among top pharma companies to roll out a weight loss pill. Just how will the oral form stack up against the injectables? Our Emily Aketa with what a new study is showing.
Injectable GLP-1s have transformed millions of people's weight loss journeys, but the race to bring needle-free options to market now heating up. As Ozempic maker Novo Nordisk demonstrated in a new study that its pill form can achieve similar efficacy. Finding over 64 weeks, clinical trial participants lost 13.6% of their body weight and an estimated 16.6% if continued.
Having this available with the same efficacy, the same safety, that gives patients a choice, and that will expand the number of patients that we can serve with anti-obesity medication.
Chief Scientific Officer Dr. Martin Lang says they're expecting FDA approval for the daily pill in a few weeks or months.
Are you prepared for a rollout to meet extremely high demand?
Short answer is yes, we are prepared for a full-scale launch in the U.S.
It comes a month after competitor Eli Lilly shared successful clinical trial results for its weight loss pill. Neither drug maker has named a price point, though experts believe it will be cheaper to make.
I think that that's what they're trying to compete for, is not only cheaper and accessible, but best weight loss options with decreased side effects.
All right, Emily Aketa joins us now. Emily, what do we know about the side effects of these new pills?
So the study shows that the side effects are pretty in line with the shots. So think GI issues, maybe some nausea, but there are some concerns from some doctors that because it is a daily pill rather than the weekly injection, perhaps people will try to reduce how often they're taking it to reduce discomfort. It's something that doctors will definitely want to keep an eye on.
Okay, Emily, we thank you for that. We're back in a moment with the new video of killer whales attacking a boat, even sinking it. What's going on here? That's next. Welcome back. This is breaking tonight. ABC Network saying Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely. It comes after Kimmel's recent comments about Charlie Kirk. Here's our latest reporting.
Tom, that's right. ABC telling NBC News that they will be taking Jimmy Kimmel's popular late night show off of the air indefinitely after comments the late night host made earlier this week about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the motives of the man accused of killing him. Now, this also comes just hours after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr suggested that the FCC could take action against Disney and ABC for Kimmel's comments. And it also comes after Nexstar Media Group announced in a statement that their affiliates would not be airing the shows, saying that they, quote, strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk. Now, NBC News, we've reached out to Kimmel for comment, and we have not yet heard back. Tom?
Okay, when we come back, there is good news tonight. A 10-year-old who just won a scholarship for her A-plus watermelons and tomatoes, farm to table to college. That's next. Finally, there is good news tonight for a young farmer in Georgia who at just 10 years old is starting to see the fruits of her labor. Caitlin Ross from our Atlanta station, WXIA, has this story.
The path to success isn't always paved.
I'm picking some cherry tomatoes.
For Kendall Ray Johnson, it's planted, watered, and grown.
Tomatoes over here, watermelons over there.
In this backyard, the fruits of her labor aren't just measured in crops, but confidence.
Yeah, this one's good.
At just 10 years old, she's the youngest certified farmer in the country.
We have our first brown egg.
And now she's celebrating something even bigger.
What is this?
South Carolina State University awarded Kendall Ray a full ride scholarship.
These are super sweet 100s.
Not for sports, but for agriculture.
I literally was like, we do that? That could be done?
Her mom, Ursula, says Kendall is leading their family farm.
They're not quite ready yet.
And leading by example.
She just wanted to grow. And once she found her love of just wanting to grow, I think that blossomed into what you see today.
In Georgia, where agriculture is the state's top industry, Kendall Ray's story is planting seeds of change.
What do I want for my future? Well, I want 100 acres of land.
Her dreams growing as fast as her farm.
You also check if it's hollow.
And inspiring others to grow alongside her.
Keep growing, keep being amazing. You do you.
In South Fulton, Georgia, Caitlin Ross, NBC News.
That's Nightly News for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Yamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.